You ever find it interesting that so many of us are aware in this digital age that there's a lot of people, putting on for the cameras on social media, right? Where what you see on social media, a lot of it's fake, right? It's not people's true experiences they're having. But yet, there's still a lot of people that turn to online dating as a source to find true love or the one for them, right? So I'm going to tell you the number one reason right now why you should never rely on dating sites. And it's with one word we'll start with: kitten fishing. And I know the word sounds crazy and weird and all that. But what it is catfishing's little brother, right? To where it's not that it's completely fictitious, right? It's not this person that's just showing you this profile, whatever, that's not them at all. No, it's probably worse. It's someone that is a real person, but they're putting a lot of fluff on their profile that misrepresents who they actually are to seem more attractive in the market of dating. And that fluff is not necessarily a loud, overt thing. It's actually more often minor little alterations to their appearance online or their personal information, right? So they make small little tweaks that aren't so noticeable to where it still seems really believable. But now let me say this as well. I'm not saying this to say someone is intentionally trying to just show up fake to you online, right? A lot of times people are trying to present themselves in the best light. They're trying to, make sure they can be seen for how they see themselves and all these things, right? Trying to put their best foot forward, even though they may know they're embellishing a little bit in the information they're giving. They feel, well, it does pretty much represent me, or I've been this version of myself at one point in time, all the things to mentally justify doing what they're doing, because the dating market can feel hard at times. It can feel like you're in a sea of options of people and you want to stand out. Now, that doesn't make it okay just because they didn't mean any harm by it, right? They should still live in their truth and be honest with you. Or even if the person that knows what they're doing, right, and they are trying to kind of pull one over on you to see how far they can get and what they can get from you or whatever the case is. Either way, it's never right in an attempt to make yourself seem more attractive or interesting than you may feel you already are. Right? To the point where people start doing things like modifying their height on their profile, trying to make themselves seem taller than they are, or putting a lower age to make yourself seem like you're younger so that, people don't think, oh, this person's too old, I don't want to talk to them. Or even having heavily doctored photos where you're trying to make you seem like you don't have as much as weight on you as you usually do or whatever. Or make you seem like you're slim and trim and all that. Or even the real subconscious hack, right, someone will do to make themselves feel better, like they're not being messed up and lying to someone, is they'll use an actual real photo of themselves that's not heavily doctored. It's pretty straightforward to what it is, but it's really old and outdated. They haven't looked that way in 5 years, right? Things that just gives you a false impression, or adding a ton of fluff on their lifestyle, maybe their job title. They start using glorifying descriptions for a position that they know people are going to think that they do something more bigger. So maybe they're a secretary or something, and they speak in a way that makes it sound like they're this big executive. They exaggerate the numbers and how much they make income wise, maybe. Or even they start to make it seem like they're so, worldly traveled, right? They're so well traveled and have these amazing, big, grandiose experiences, but it isn't that deep, right? Or they haven't done that much. Anything that overall can represent themselves better in the market they're doing. And so if you haven't caught it already, the number one reason you don't rely on dating sites is because you just really truly never know what you're going to get. You don't know until you're actually in front of someone how authentic the actual connection you're trying to make actually is, and how, real the development of things are, the information that you're getting. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not, demonizing online dating sites, right? I do think you can go to sites that have more of a barrier of entry and you're more likely to get a more authentic experience. Absolutely. But even on those, there can be a little bit of the kitten fishing versus catfishing, right? See, people so get focused on someone being completely fictitious and lying completely and just showing you a picture that's not even them and saying all this information that's completely a lie about themselves, right? And that's usually the one that gets the biggest bad rep, to where people say, well, if you just go to a paid site, right, it's something where, which I do agree with this though, right? If you're going to utilize an online dating app, go to a site that has a barrier of entry to where you have to invest something to be on that platform, where shows more intentionality and more authenticity, right? To where you're less likely to go on there being a complete fictitious person to spend money to try to bamboozle someone. Like, no one's usually going to do that. So the free online dating sites are the biggest culprits that I look at, and it's just not a sound investment. Not saying you can't find someone on those sites. I'm pretty sure you can if you look hard enough, and if you're on it long enough, you get good enough at trying to weed through folks. But just think about how tiring that sounds to do, right? Not saying you shouldn't go try it. Hey, if it's a great resource for you, in addition, great, do that. I never knock someone finding an avenue to find true love, right? Just understand the playing field you're dealing with when you're trying to find love in these different environments. Because truth told, you need to be living a more vibrant life that puts you out into the world in various ways, in various settings and environments, to give yourself more chances to come across the person that's right for you, right? Because I don't know if you're aware of this, but at least in the US, as of last year, at least, around like 37% of US citizens are on some online dating app, right? At least they've tried online dating. But out of that pool, only around 7% actually are active on there. What's that saying to you? That people are going on these sites and they're getting more burnt out and not getting the results they want to get, more so than it being worth the investment, right? Worth the time on there, to where it's something that people are quickly seeing. This is not really converting into a good ROI on my investment, right? Like, I'm not getting even quality dates off of this oftentimes. And I'll even do you one better. When you talk about the younger generations, if you will, or those from 18 to 29, let's say, about 56% of them are on online dating sites, right? A lot more than 37%. But even out of that 56%, only 13% are active, right? Why? Because they're on there in drones and they're learning quickly or even faster. Oh, this is a crap fest. It's a crapshoot, right? Like, it's gambling almost. Now, I can't stress enough, I am not knocking online dating sites themselves. I'm knocking the caliber of the people showing up on the sites towards what you're trying to accomplish from being on there, right? And the less barrier of entry, or the less requirements, or the less particularity there must be for someone to be on these sites, is the more you're going to get calibers and quality that don't match what you require for you. And reasonably so, right? See, when you're out in person in the world on your own, you're actually doing things that resonate with stuff that you like, things that, you have interest in, to where when you're in different environments with people with a similar interest, it's an easier pair bonding, right? You come across someone that is more likely that you'll have things in common and have chemistry than if you're online and you're talking to a lot of people that are from anywhere and all over the place. The likelihood that they're going to be in sync with you isn't really there. I know we have filters on the sites and you have things you put in your profile about what your interests are, and it kind of narrows it down. But that's where the kitten fishing can kick in, right? Someone that maybe has an interest in, I don't know, let's say mountain biking, right? And they're like, I've always wanted to do that, or I'd like to go out and do jogging, or I'd like to do something active. I just haven't done that yet, but that's something I'll be interested in. And it sounds cool. So I'll add it to my profile because I'd be willing to do it. I would do it. And you're a person that actually does do mountain biking, right? Now you come across them because you have the similar interests put into whatever filters. And they're saying, yeah, I love mountain biking, or I think it'd be so cool, and so forth. But if you make it to a point of maybe getting in person and meeting, maybe they go with you mountain biking one time or what have you. And they quickly come to learn, I don't know if I'm really cut out for this. I don't know if I want to do this that much, but it's something that's a regular part of your life. Now you have a discrepancy now, right? So even though you can have your interest on these online dating sites, it's way different whenever you're out there mountain biking on your own and you come across someone else mountain biking in real time, because that's their lifestyle too. They can't fake that for you, right? And if they are trying to, you'll probably notice pretty quick on how comfortable they seem in that arena. and whether they're just trying to force themselves out there because they think they'll find, good men or good women out here or whatever. And the last piece I want to make sure that we land the plane on here is oftentimes when we get onto online dating sites and we see all these people on there, you keep swiping through, swipe left, swipe right, or whatever. It can give us the illusion, false interpretation, that there's just millions of options, right? And that's why a lot of times when people that are younger tend to think, oh, I have nothing but time in front of me, and I have the world at my fingertips, and I can just pick someone when I want or whatever. There's tons of people out there left and right that are dating. I just got to find the right one. But you're looking at a pool of people to where probably 90% of those people don't truly align with you and what you need and what you actually want and where you're looking to go in life. So if you're going to utilize online dating sites as a real means of finding true love or that partner that really could be great for you, you have to hack the situation to minimize the possibility of experiencing kitten fishing to the best of your ability, or even catfishing for that matter. I think we're all getting pretty decent at noticing the catfish. Hopefully you are, right? It's much harder when someone actually is a real person, but they're putting little fluff on different pockets and areas of themselves, right? But if you're going to get around this or avoid this the most, the faster you can take a connection you've made on any of these online dating sites that seems to be, pretty legit in the forefront, at least up front, it seems that way. The faster you get your interactions to something in person, if it can't be in person, at least on over, like a video chat. If not even that, at least an audio call, bare minimum, right? The sooner you can get the interaction to be as impersonal as possible, is the faster you can get clarity on a person being whoever they're portraying themselves to be online. So no, I'm not saying the moment you meet someone online and they seem like they're pretty decent off of a few messages, you rush to going in person. Make sure you're being safe, right? But what I'm saying is don't sit and just keep chatting, messaging them for a month or two. And you guys have never put any actual effort into, linking up. Hopefully you're even talking to people on online dating that are in your range, right? 50 miles or whatever in the same city, and not people that are all over the place, unless you live enough of a mobile life to where you can make that work, because you're just setting up a difficult circumstance if you're not. But if you find someone in your range, in your radius, don't just keep messaging them forever, right? Be intentional towards, okay, hey, if they seem like they're cool enough, get to at least a phone call first or a video chat first. You want to get to the video chat as soon as you can. And then when are we linking up, right? Get into their world soon, yesterday, if all the things up front make sense to you to move to that step. And you avoid dealing or wasting your time with people that truly, at the end of the day, don't mesh with you, but you thought did in the beginning. So if you'd like to learn the tools to navigate the online dating world a lot better and a lot more efficiently and effectively, and better yet, learn how to actually meet people in your life around you already without having to go to the online dating, to really just double down and triple down your chances of finding a person right for you, then email or DM me the word coaching, as long as you're truly ready to put the work in with coaching sessions. But if you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space, then email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community, where you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace, on your own time. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.